videos, the chats across continents, following thousands of people online all over. We can connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time, and yet loneliness continues to be on the rise. Disconnection continues to rise. How is it possible? How is it possible? Maybe it's because communication and connection aren't the same thing. Maybe because contact and presence aren't the same thing. Maybe because the thing that we're all looking for isn't another message. Maybe it's another human being, another heart, another soul. Today, we're talking about presence, connection, trust, and why the most valuable thing that you can offer another person might simply be your attention. So let's rise. Good morning. Welcome. Just like Adam Holroyd did. I hope you guys are having a great day, getting going here this morning, turning down the tunage. Glad you are all here. Did everybody have a great weekend? I hope you did. I certainly had an amazing weekend, especially yesterday, a great Father's Day. Although I was missing one of my kids who was not up there, but my wife and my mother and myself, we took a ride down. My father is buried about an hour away from home, and we went and visited him and spent some time together and got some amazing pizza from the little town that my mother actually grew up in. And we're going to talk a little bit about a story that I was inspired to tell again today by being down there in the little town where my mother grew up. Although it was Father's Day, this story involves my grandmother. Good morning, Roseanne. Good morning, Mother. I had a wonderful, wonderful day with you yesterday. I was just telling the world about it. And I'm going to tell a little Danda story here in a minute. So maybe you want to stick around. I'm sure you'll remember this one. Because the truth is, my grandmother was probably the single greatest, at least from my experience, example of human being who can connect with absolutely anyone, fearlessly connecting. That's what we do here on Kindness Rising together. And that's what today's story is about. Absolutely. It's nighttime. It's nighttime where you are, John Heaton. Well, it's morning where we are here in the East Coast of the United States of America. It's 7:34 a.m. I'm glad you're here with me. Stick around. We're getting going. Today's topic is connection. Why everybody's connected. Everyone's connected, but nobody's really connecting. Everybody's 4:34 a.m. There's for Sully. Good to see you, Sully. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. I appreciate you. I hope you had a great weekend working on your coaching business and getting after it out there on the left coast. Yeah. Jess, loneliness. Oh, I'll throw down my comments. Here's my comments. Everybody's in, so you can see those comments. Loneliness is the gap between the quality and number of relationships you have and those you want. That is true. You can be alone and not be lonely if that's not what you desire. I understand that, Jess, entirely. But there are so many people who desire connection, and they use this. I use this for connection. No question about it. It's one way that I connect, right? The digital connection. But so why am I even talking about this? I read a story, a woman named Nicole Ramirez, who I failed to put in the chat. I was going to put her LinkedIn page right here. I didn't do it. Fairly influential, popular LinkedIn creator. I got about 50,000 or so followers. And I read something from her just last night, actually, as I was starting, actually yesterday, not last night, yesterday afternoon, as I was starting to prepare. And I was like, well, that's it. That's the episode today, right? She wrote about how someone reached out to a creator that they genuinely admired. The creator responded, the conversation started, the questions were asked, thoughtful answers back and forth were shared, and this person felt super excited. Oh my gosh, I'm seen, I'm heard. And then they realized that this is a bot I'm chatting to, representing this person. No one was actually there. This conversation started to go sideways because the bot couldn't keep up. The questions had been automated. The curiosity had been automated, and the conversation had been completely automated. And what felt like connection was really just a workflow. Just a workflow, an instant, and in an instant, trust disappeared. Hey, listen, I'm all for workflows. I'm all for using AI to help us be more efficient. But when AI replaces us on the communication stage, or on the communication phase of things, this is where it becomes a problem. This is where it becomes a problem because present matters. This person lost a customer, and that's the point of this story. Let me just get to there. This person, there's three parties, but whatever, lost a customer because they chose to use AI DMs, which is amazing that it can happen. And I've actually thought about it myself. Like, okay, I could do some broader connecting. I'm like, nope, that's not why I'm here. That's not why, how and why I want to use AI to replace me. I want to use it to enhance connection. I wanted to use it to enhance my abilities, my efficiencies. I'm fine with using it for workflow, but that's the point. When it comes to the actual connection, when someone comments or asks a question or shares a story or joins a conversation, I focus on the fact that there's a real person on the other side. And if I see that it's not a real person on the other side, it's upsetting, right? In the end, this person is upset too, because trust is built because someone cares you and someone experiences you. Presence is becoming increasingly rare because, we got these great tools. We got this tool that can represent me out there and do my work. I wanted to do my work. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to do my work. I want to make things like designing and the grunt work and the clipping and all those things that I do, at least at this part of my world. Sure. Absolutely. What I don't want it to do is to replace this. Well, Jerry, I know you're imaginary, so I guess I can use AI to communicate with you. So that's fine. I'll just get an AI bot, and I'll interact with you. It won't matter. We can just have imaginary Jerry and my bot having the whole conversation, and then I'll just produce a report that schedules me a summary of the conversation. Does that sound like fun? Does it sound like engagement? It doesn't sound like fun or engagement to me. I'll tell you that. That's the point I'm trying to make. I was being silly. Jerry, I'm so glad that you joined me with your dogs and your gingerbread men and your geese and your whole world. Thank you, Jess. Thanks for coming to and being here, and Sully. Really, really appreciate you guys. All right. And I didn't mention Kathy. I saw Kathy here. Kathy, dude, you are crushing it. You're out there like video. That's what you got to put. You put those out there, and then they become perpetual for you when you create, right? And you never know. A year from now, that video that you wrote about spirituality and made about spirituality will maybe make a connection for you that moves your life forward. That's the beauty of some of this evergreen content creation on YouTube. Absolutely. Kathy, I'm proud of you. I think it's awesome. I'm proud of us for doing it every day, showing up. No matter, do you think you love my Dollar Tree glasses? How did you know they're Dollar Tree? That's freaking amazing. Actually, they're not Dollar Tree. Mikey D, you're wrong. They're not Dollar Tree glasses. But curious that you thought that they were. They're from a much higher end store than the Dollar Tree, buddy. Much higher end. You ever hear of Ocean State job lots? Like Big Lots? Hey man, they're Jeffrey Bean. You don't like them? I don't care. All right, Mikey. No, glad you're here. Tell us about your Dollar Tree glasses. All right. Okay. We got to do our Who in the World. Who in the world? Who in the world? Who in the world? Today's clue. First clue. Every day, Mike D. Stick around. Are you Mike D like from the Beastie Boys? That's freaking awesome. I didn't know that. I'm Mike D. All right. Yeah. So every day, Mike D, we do Who in the World contest, or that contest, puzzle, clue, game. 3 clues throughout the episode to guess the person of the day that probably has some kind of connection to our theme. But today's mystery person earned a degree in drama from Yale and was known among classmates for studying people almost like an anthropologist. All right. That's not what I want. So that's today's first clue. Who went to Yale and studied people like an anthropologist? Jodie Foster is the first guess. All right, we'll move on. Kathy, you're sniffing around it though. Let me just put it that you're there. You're circling it right off the bat. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to Wait That Happened. Mike D, you better subscribe, dude. Come on, get in there. Say hello. I come here every weekday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, with people like Kathy the Donkey and Jerry Ginger and Jess and Sully and Holroyd and Keith and Roseanne and the whole crew that we are building around here, right here, every single day. Thanks, Mike. Yes, everybody, welcome Mike to the community. Come say hi, Mike. Mike, I am on, this is week 51, every single day, Monday through Friday. Oh, Mike, I can talk to you about Clint. I love Clint Eastwood. 96, and he officially retired. I love that. Last week, 2 weeks ago, he officially retired, Mike D, right? I love it. I wish I could do a good Clint impersonation, but yeah, I've always been a fan of his acting for sure. Yeah. Outlaw Josie Wells is definitely one of his top. Now I gotta do it. I'd say top 3 Westerns. Let's just go with that. Top 3 Westerns. Yeah, on my list. But I also want to get to my Wait That Happened today, because that's what we do here. Another thing we do every day, connected to our theme, some kind of a big deal that happened today, a life-changing, world-changing impact. Yes, very notable. All right. Escape from Alcatraz, absolutely great movie for him. I did enjoy the prison. Obviously, he was known for westerns early on, and then like Any Which Way You Can and those kind of movies. That was good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I think it's great that he's 96. There's a lot of our icons that are growing up, getting older, carrying on. Yep. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Is that what that was called, or something like that? I forget the name of that movie, Jerry. Right? Wasn't that what it was called? Something like that. Anyway, let's get to our Wait. We're a little all over the place. Wait, that happened today. On this date in 1837, Samuel Morse unveiled the telegraph system. I know nothing about the Morse code. My father-in-law, though, was a genius in it, or is a genius in it. It bears his name, Samuel Morse, the Morse code. It's hard to overstate how revolutionary that was. Before Morse, communication had to move at however fast transportation could move. Horses, ships, trains, whatever. Distance meant delay. Now messages are moving instantly. Dots and dashes, signals across wires, and for the first time in human history, distance was no longer the biggest barrier to communication. Samuel Morse helped humanity solve the problem of distance, and now fast forward 200 years later, and we are certainly solving the distance problem better than Morse could have ever imagined. Sending photographs and huge files all across the world to satellites and down and beaming all over the world. But here's the thing. we're still profoundly disconnected. Morse solved distance, but he didn't solve loneliness, or create trust, or build relationships. Because technology can transmit the messages, but only people can create the connection. And every generation invents a new communication tool. I don't know what's going to be next. Are we going to be sending like signals from the chips in our brain to each other? We're using our glasses to see and interact with each other, whatever it might be that's coming up. Legends, what's up? Come on in. Welcome. Smooth operator came from what? I missed that. This stream is about getting up every day, getting up and getting after it. 7:30 a.m. Eastern, live on the Mornings in the Lab Network, your place to get up and get after it. More high fives for humanity, a little less rage bait, and an opportunity to just connect. Oh, telegraph operators were smooth operators. Okay, I thought it was Sade that was the smooth operator. I don't know, or wanted the smooth operator. I can't remember. But welcome, legends, into this stream here. Kindness Rising, a live program, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday. Then we get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends on the Mornings in the Lab Network at 8 a.m. So join the channels, get involved. Mark Kemp, dude! I appreciate you. I am glad you are here. How you been, buddy? How are the sales going? How is life? Good times. All right. Wow. Pulling people in from all over. Love it. Okay. As I try to get myself back together. Thanks for sticking around here on Mornings in the Lab Network and Kindness Rising as we get up and get our day started. And time is flying. I think I packed my agenda here maybe a little too tight, but that's okay. All right. So yeah. So we learned that today was the day that Morse Code was invented, and that helped us with distance, but it didn't necessarily help us with connection. But maybe our friends, here they come, in our spotlight today, can help us with that connection. Because today's Kindness Spotlight shines on the foundation for social connection. And I'm trying to share my screen, but life is not working very well with that. What is that? That ain't it. What am I sharing? Okay. Anyway, we'll just keep moving along here in our world. We're going to talk about the foundation for social connection. Even if I can't show them to you, the mission is simple but powerful: strengthening social connection and reducing loneliness. The organization brings together researchers, healthcare leaders, community organizations with a simple idea that human connection matters, not as a luxury and not as something nice to have, but something essential. Research continues to show that meaningful relationships improve physical health, mental health, resilience, and overall well-being. In a world where increasingly connected by technology, they're helping remind us the goal isn't necessarily more communication, it's more connection. And every person deserves to know that they belong. That is the purpose of the Foundation for Social Connection. All right, there it is. Let's get to our second clue as time flies by here on Kindness Rising. So we had our first clue. Our first clue was a person who went to Yale. Remember this? Imagine this person walking around Yale campus studying people almost like an anthropologist. And then next, they've kept following their dream, but were told they weren't attractive enough to succeed in their field. A person who wasn't attractive enough to succeed in their field, perhaps, and went to Yale. All right, let's keep moving along. Jess, I appreciate exactly what you're saying. Absolutely. as time goes on and we age, we need to stay connected. Love is a social disease. I haven't heard that one in a long time, Jerry. Wow, that's old school. That's like Runaway level, 1984, 86. I don't know, right? Wow. Nice work, buddy. All right, let's move on. You've got 2 clues now. A person who went to Yale and was told they were not attractive enough to get into, or to break into the film industry. Let's move on. Time is flying, so I'm going to skip the Grateful Dead thing today, which I can't believe I'm saying that, because Jess of the WWL 20. What is that, Jess of the? I never even knew. You're just Jess to me. What does that mean? Is Jess a spirit? I don't know. You are, right, Jerry? You're imaginary. Good morning. Welcome in, Jane Connolly from Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota. Taking a guess at Meryl Streep at Minnesota. All right. I'm terrible. I like Debbie Dooley. How you doing? You guys know that one? Debbie Dooley. How you doing? All right. You keep getting booted? You keep getting booted off of LinkedIn? I've been having struggles with LinkedIn, Mark. I admit it. From StreamYard to LinkedIn. I mean, you have to get into the technicals. There's, yeah. I create a growing newsletter. All right, cool. Let's keep rolling. Anyway, I'm going to skip the life lessons from the Grateful Dead because today was, it wasn't a throwaway, but it's not as important. But certainly one of the reasons people connected was the community, the huge. Yeah, Jerry, I've got 2 feeds, but I thought I was streaming all the comments into the feed. Yeah, that's why I stream it there, because I'm linked to 2 streams on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook right now. I'm being encouraged to expand beyond that, even to Discord and Twitch and all these systems. And I'm just like, dude, can't I just focus on one? All right. Anyway, there you go. Imaginary legends. Anyway, the Dead, they connected. We know that. Building a community, and you show up and you become part of the band. That was the important thing too, is that absolutely the audience, anyone who was connected, was part of the band, right? That was the connection, truly part of the community, part of the band. The Grateful Dead wouldn't be the Grateful Dead without the audience. It's just the way it is. Okay. Moving on. I do want to tell my grandmother's story, and so that means I've got to get to my 3rd clue. We'll give you the 3rd clue. I think somebody may be already knowing it, but we'll go the 3rd clue. And yeah, we'll move on from there. Earned a degree from Yale, followed anthropology. Person was once told they weren't attractive enough. And here it is, the final clue. Received more Academy Award nominations than any other actor in history. So they went from being too ugly to be on screen to being perhaps the most definitely decorated, I would argue gifted actor in our world of all time. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to today's Kindness Compass, and then we'll do the reveal. Although if you scroll back into your chat, you may see the name out there. Today's challenge, I usually do a challenge for Compass. 5 things you can do, 3 things you can do. Today, we're doing something a little bit different, because this is kind of what built this whole episode today was built around my grandmother. We called her Danda. And she was known as Danda all throughout the world. Danda was a one-of-a-kind person, and I perhaps will tell you some more stories about my Danda, who passed away in 2018 at the young age of 104. She lived to be 104 years old and lived in her own home with help for a long time. So that's pretty amazing. But that's, I'm giving you an idea of the context of this person. But back in the spring of 1980 or so, she was a different person too. We loaded up into our station wagon, or I don't even remember how we got there, but we headed to DC, and one of our first stops on the way to our Washington DC trip was Arlington National Cemetery and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I don't know if you've ever been there. Changing of the guard. The ceremony is just unbelievably touching and amazing. And just, yeah, please get to Arlington National Cemetery. It's one of my favorite things. I used to go there when I lived by myself because it was free, and I would go and just be there by myself. It's amazing. Precision, discipline, history. It's easy to become completely absorbed in the moment. And apparently my grandmother decided to become absorbed in something else when we went there, because after the ceremony ended, we couldn't find her. The crowd dispersed. There was a light rain falling, and everyone's looking around for, where's Danda? Where's Danda? And finally we hear, come meet my new friend. And there stood my grandmother standing beside one of the members of the old guard, the elite soldiers who protect the tomb of the unknown soldiers. Not only had she introduced herself and thanked him, she had somehow convinced him to give her a private tour of the barracks and personally explain the traditions of the guard. And she disappeared with the guy. And how did she do it? I don't know for sure, but this is what I sense. She introduced herself and said, I pray for you every day, and I'm curious about you. And he offered to show. I guarantee that was the conversation. No networking strategy, no growth hack, no personal branding framework, just genuine curiosity, appreciation, kindness, and presence. And so today's challenge is simple from Danda. Fearlessly connect with one person. Introduce yourself, ask a thoughtful question, be curious, listen. You never know where one authentic conversation might lead. All right. Oh, I'm still got my third clue up there. Well, got to run. See you, Jerry. But the answer is Meryl Streep. Who guessed Meryl Streep first? Somebody guessed Meryl Streep first. Somebody new, a name I haven't seen. I forgot who it was. I was like, thank you. All right, Legends is here with us. Jane Connolly from Minnesota. Jane Connolly, you are the winner of the Meryl Streep answer. All right. It's her birthday, and she was often celebrated as one of the greatest actors of all time. But I think if you look deeper and you read that story about how she used to watch people, I think empathy is what really moved her forward in her talent, to observe, to understand, to imagine life through somebody's eyes. That's not just acting, that's actually connection. And that's how Meryl Streep built her career, through connection. In a world where so many interactions are rushed, automated, and transactional, empathy is a superpower. And perhaps that's why Meryl Streep's work continues to resonate across generations, because beneath every great performance is a simple human act, just paying attention. All right, that's it. We blew through today. We skipped a couple things. We bounced around. His name was Dexter. She wrote correspondence with him for more than 20 years. All right, thanks, Mom. There is some insight to my grandmother. It's real. My mom coming in with the legitimacy, giving me credibility to my story. Dude's name was Dexter. I don't think he was out there as a serial killer. I think he was Mom, if you don't know, Dexter is a show about a serial killer. And wrote correspondence with more than 20 years. That's one thing my grandmother never stopped doing, right up to her basically dying day. Corresponding in writing by hand to human beings. I'm talking about television personalities, political governors, senators visiting her, talking to, I mean, unbelievable. I've got great stories from my grandmother, and definitely an inspiration. Unfortunately, we have to wind down here. I will get to more Danda stories as we move along, because I'll just keep coming here, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on Kindness Rising. Samuel Morse helped us communicate across distance. Technology helps us communicate across the world, and AI helps us move information faster than ever before. But none of those things replace true presence. In a world where messages are increasingly automated, attention becomes a form of kindness. In a world where everyone is connected, the people who truly listen stand out. And maybe that's the opportunity that's right in front of all of us. Not to be louder, not to be faster, not to be more automated, but simply to be more human, because trust is not built when someone hears from you. Trust is built when someone feels that you are actually there. And I will actually be here 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday morning for you and for the rest of the community. And I'll get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.